The main aim of this particular project is to enhance the ability of media and civil society organizations across the region to be able to identify but also respond to gender and social barriers to equality.
At AKF, we see academic and media institutions playing a critical role in advancing gender equality. And we see the media as a catalyst for societal change that will always contribute to shaping our thinking and reasoning on several areas. So it cannot be said any louder that the media has a massive power and has the capacity to shape our beliefs, our attitudes, including having the ability to challenge biases that we witness, especially in the area of gender.
We do believe that we have to level the ground, both by giving opportunity for women to participate, but also in the process to talk about the barriers that hinder their involvement, that hinder their participation. So through the programming, it's also emerged that there's a lot that needs to be done. Policies are there, up to and including safeguarding policies, but implementation, holding people accountable, especially when there's breach, and also taking preventive and corrective measures is lacking.
So overly, women are framed within the context of responsibility frame, meaning that most of the stories are actually projecting women as responsible for critical things in the society or offering solutions in critical areas.
If you look at the major global challenges right now, issues of climate change, gender, health, EdX comes in a big way because EdX does not just address itself to gender issues, but it is looking at a very critical cog of the society, the media, and how the media is critical in either mitigating or shaping the unconscious frames that we have that inadvertently privileges men and disadvantages women. So the way EdX is conceptualized and how GSMC is situated in this is that EdX is looking at gender issues from not just the media, but the media and the civil society, which is very critical because the civil society will drive the advocacy, but then the media is the platform, that tells stories of the society. Where I come in is research, where we are looking at advancing gender equality from an empirical data point of view using data and facts. And I think we've serviced as an institution that prides itself in conducting research that influences practice, policy, and advances knowledge that are not only advancing knowledge in the academy, but also providing critical data that then the society uses to advance policy and change behavior.
We've helped media organizations set up a gender desk. We helped Voice of Toro in Western Uganda and Afya Radio in Mwanza. And this is particularly born out of the fact that media, the grassroots, sometimes lack the resources, not only monetary, but the human resources, to be able to set up these important desks that develop an interest, cultivate a relationship between various actors within that space, so that they are all brought together to articulate issues that touch on important matters such as gender-based violence and how gender-based violence and sexual and gender-based violence sometimes affect the quality of lives of women and children, and of course the relationships between men and women.
The time between the initial proposal for this grant and the grant actually coming into the implementation phase was quite long. And so the media and communications landscape evolved in that time period. So when we set out to implement on the training of trainers and the continuous professional development courses, we spent the first few weeks talking to different stakeholders. We engaged with media, civil society, NGOs, public sector, and we asked them what they're already doing to train on gender-responsive media and communications. And many of them told us that actually they're already training on this topic. And so when we dug deeper into what they were doing, we found that many people were reflecting on their own personal experiences, sharing those with participants, and also pulling from global best practices. But the gap was that there wasn't enough localized knowledge on this topic, something that infused culture, something that brought different examples from our context to the foreground, was missing in the region.
I believe through these programs, we've been able to build capacity for trainers. Yeah? From our TOT, Training of Trainers programs, we were able to work and then onboard a few from each region to join the GSMC team in facilitating the CPDs. And that to me speaks of impact. From the Training of Trainers, they were able to learn, understand the core foundational knowledge of the different gender concepts, and then also add on an instructional skill, and they were able to train alongside us in the CPDs. That speaks impact, and we believe that they continue to do that even in their own spaces.
So the practical part of this training really gave us a picture or snippet of the reality in our media coverage. So it was very, very important, and it was very effective to see that we are actually doing some very necessary practice, and now to see the progress we have made. It's really a critical reflection that, okay, there's some work needed to be done, but where we are is not as bad as we have come from.
I got interest on the research that was presented today on sports, and one of the things that I am going to focus on is going to be on empowerment. It was a recommendation I gave, but it's something that I'm going to look into it and see how best can we empower coaches, because they act like a key point to meeting the people in the sport areas. So we are going to come up with proposals and concepts and see how best can we loop in coaches as influencers to prevent SGBV in our society.
I had very many biases personally before about the whole concept. I had a different understanding of gender and related concepts, but indeed after the training, many things did change. And even when I was training very many people, it also brought in very many perspectives, because we had opposing ideas during the training. People would ask you questions that probably you're even not prepared to answer, but you had to answer them impromptu. So it was very impactful. It broadened my understanding. It sharpened my thinking. Yeah, very impactful.
Through this partnership with GSMC, we now have more soldiers. We now have more champions from the media sector that we can rely on the gender work, who will for a long time to come will contribute towards shaping positive coverage on issues that affect women and girls in our society.